All right. Well, hello everyone. It is Tuesday today. I'm up 798, and yeah, today was great. Very encouraging day in the market. Obviously, meme stocks, BlackBerry, GameStop. GameStop had a very nice move today that I kind of missed out on because I didn't really expect it to have the move that it did. Saw some more volume today and saw a nice move from like 280 to like 340 or something. It did come back down, but anyway, meme stocks clearly still going, still on watch, still have volume, still moving around, and then besides that, still a great day otherwise in small caps. This stock CLOV had a crazy move in pre-market, and then here in the 10:30 period, crazy. This was a stock that halted up. So small caps did well. Wish up to 13.50 in after hours. This is one that I took a trade on as well. So anyway, I'll go chronologically here, but yeah, really today's focus and kind of, I trade when I see a setup, I trade it. Today just so happened to be that most of the setups that I traded were just dip buys, quick dip buys. Some of them were scalps and some of them were longer term, kind of try to buy the dip and kind of play the reversal higher. And so that's kind of what's going to be on display in this recap. So that's why I've titled this recap, how to buy dips. Because that's kind of just what I noticed after taking all these trades. Like, oh, all these trades I took were pretty much buying dips. So anyway, yeah, let's get into it. BlackBerry was my first trade today. Other than this first trade, I did not trade BlackBerry today. If you watched my recap yesterday, you know that I tried to short it yesterday, and over the last few days have tried to consistently short it. But this time I actually went long right here. I bought this dip. I bought 1,000 shares here. And this is very strange indeed. I've never seen that before. This is very strange. Something is going on here. It shows that there's no volume. It says I bought 1604. That is very strange. I've never seen that. Look at how it says that there's no volume on these candles. What does it say the volume is? 2,000 shares? Anyway, whatever. The truth is that I bought on this candle right here. I don't know why it says I bought here. It's not even printing 604 on this candle. So I've actually really bought... oh, right. This is kind of a mystery to me right now. I'm not totally sure what's going on, but I do remember that in the morning my trading platform was having issues here early in the morning. And that actually could be the cause of this. I don't know. If you guys are on TOS and you have TOS, let me know if this is what it shows you for BB today on the 1 minute chart. I would be curious to know. But anyway, the truth is I bought, yeah, this is so strange, but I bought here at 1604 on this dip. I really suspect that this chart is not quite right. Something weird is going on here. But anyway, I bought at 1604. That is true. And then I bought the dip and, caught the pop back up and was out here with... This is so weird. I wish I could say more about this. I sold in an average of 1626, but you can see all my exits there. I had an exit at 1621 and then an exit at 1644 and 29. So kind of taking profits on the move back up. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Yeah, my TOS and Interactive Broker was messing up at open for like 10-15 minutes. Yeah, mine was clearly messing up. You know what's strange about this too is you could see between these two 1 minute candles, there's actually a gap down of 3 cents, which is pretty rare. You don't often see that on a stock that's trading so much liquidity here. And then look on this candle. The close of this candle, it says the close of this candle was 1628, and the open of this candle was 1637. That's like a 10-cent gap. So something is wrong there. Something is wrong with these candles. It shows that there's no volume taking place here. But what I can say for sure is this trade is real. This entry and exit is real, and that's where this profit is coming from. I did have another quick trade on it here, but I got out break even. This was just kind of an in and out. I took it, but then I was like, nah. So I got out. Okay, let's move on. I think that is the only weird thing that's going to be going on with the charts today, hopefully. But that's the first example of a quick dip where I saw that it dropped off the open. It hit a high of 16.80 and then dropped straight down to $16. So I wanted to get long in front of $16 and catch the pop back up, which I thought was very likely. What we've seen with BlackBerry over the last few days is it does have dips off the open, but then it can actually surge back up even on days where it falls down off the open. There's a little bit typically of some push and pull off the open. So if you can catch one way in a big direction a big move in one direction, you can usually take advantage of that. And with 1,000 shares, you don't even need that much of a pop. This one actually did come up to 16.57. I could have gotten a lot more out of it. But anyway, so let's move on. Austin Fastly experienced an outage this morning, hence the issues. Yes. Yeah, I think, I don't know if TOS had an outage this morning. What's up, Isakov? How's it going? Socks off Fifth Avenue. Good to see you here again. Anyway, I'm going to keep going here. So BB, that was my first trade in the morning. Then my next trade was on Palantir. This one, ooh, I took big size on this one, guys. But again, I was just looking for that quick pop back up, and what I liked about it was just how aggressively it was selling off. It moved strongly off the open. Look at what happened. Look at these candles here in the open. This is clearly something with TOS in the first few minutes of the day today. I don't know if it's just me or you guys are seeing this as well, but look at these candles. This is so, I've never seen this before. I mean, I've seen TOS have issues, but not to the point where it actually affects the charts and how the candles are shaping up. But anyway, you can see everything after the kind of this period is correct. It surged up and then crashed back down. Look at this candle, brings it from 25.15 down to a low of 24.56. Pop back up and then dropping here, and I saw these two big red candles come in, and I thought, I'm going to buy that dip. This is a big retracement here. And when you see a drop this big, again, you might be asking, like, well, how do you know when the bottom is in? How do you know if stocks can keep dropping? Like, how do you know it's not going to keep dropping? Well, again, you're not going to be perfect. Your entry is likely not going to be perfect. You can see even here it dipped even further down to 24.21. My entries are 24.41. You can see I got in kind of right here, and then I added to the position another 1,000 at 32, as I thought we were going to get the pop back up. We did get the pop back up, but again, my entry here was not perfect. But I can still speak to what gave me the confidence to take these entries here. And again, it has to do with just how aggressive that this sell-off is, and the levels here in pre-market. I thought, it might hold up around this spot. You see this low from yesterday right before the close as I mess up the charts here. But you can see this low being put in right here, 24.25. So we're coming right into that area, and we've just sold off so aggressively. When you see that steep of a sell-off, unless there's news on it. If there's news on it, that's a different story. You want to be more hands-off. But this one, I did feel confident that we would get a pop back up. And as I say this all the time, as sharply as you come down, you can pop back up. So when you see the more aggressive the dip is and the quicker it is, that is a sign of a great imbalance. And stocks tend to like to consolidate, and they go through periods of moving up very quickly and moving down very quickly, but they like to kind of stabilize as the day goes on, and they bounce around, but eventually they try to kind of stabilize. And anyway, when I see a big move in one direction, my instinct is to go against the trend. I will admit, it is kind of like, well, the stock's selling off, it's showing you that it's weak, why are you getting long? It's like, well, again, I like to trade in the anticipation of the move that's about to happen, right? I don't want to get short here. The move is already manifested. It can keep going lower, right? Of course, the trend right now is lower, but again, I want to get long and get in a position that situates me for the move that's about to happen, not for the move that is just ending. And so that's where the patience comes in, right? You might be watching it here and go, oh, I want to get in for the move that's about to happen. That's a move back up. But okay, right, good thinking, but you want to be patient on it, right? Wait for that clear signal that now is going to be that time to punch it and where the reversal is actually going to take place. So how do you know when the reversal is going to take place? Look at the red candles get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. At this point, these two steep red candles bring us from 24.50 down to 24.30. So that's a 25-cent drop right there. Usually you see higher volume on these candles. This is kind of early in the day. There, Palantir didn't see any crazy volume here, but again, it's about seeing that imbalance take place. You can watch the price action. These candles usually come down very aggressively, and my advice is, when you see a big dip like that, when you see the candle coming down, your first instinct to be like, oh, I want to buy that dip because I'm anticipating the pop back up, count to 3. Hands off, count to 3, and then, if it dips lower, boom, get in. Okay, that's my advice. If you have that impulse to buy it, you count to 3 and it bounces without you, you miss the trade. But more often than not, if you just are a few seconds more patient, you'll watch the stock drop another 5-10 cents and you get even a better entry. So that's something I missed here. You can see I got in at 24.41. I should have waited 3 seconds and the stock would have moved lower. I would have had the patience kind of step back and be like, I can probably even get more, a better entry, because the better entry you get, the more of that explosive move back up you can take advantage of. Whew. Okay, so that was that trade. I took profits very early on. You can see it moved quite a bit higher. But on 2,000 shares, I don't want to be sticking around. I'm going to take my profit, and it is in a downtrend. So as aggressively as it comes down, all I'm bargaining for is a pop back up. I'm not talking about how aggressive that pop-up is going to be. This candle did come up. This candle was very choppy. This candle to begin with was choppy. So for a time, it looked like it might have actually rolled over. And then again, one eye on the NASDAQ. What's the NASDAQ doing? Is the NASDAQ also looking like it's going to keep moving lower? If it is, then you don't want to be hanging around in a name like Palantir. So all these things are going into it. But yeah, the price action will be your biggest friend. I wish I had the clip of this trade because I think it could be quite telling. But again, the price action is your friend. You can see on a kind of a green candle like this, there's some choppiness there. The volume is kind of low. So again, there's questions being raised as to, okay, we're not, like we are bouncing a couple of green candles here. Okay, great. But we're not seeing that kind of V-shaped recovery that is signifying, oh, there's home run potential here. So this is kind of telling me more like, okay, look to get out. And of course, things change over time. And this did change over time. It kept moving higher. That will happen to you. But again, with the position size that I had, what the price action was telling me, what the NASDAQ was telling me, it was the right thing to get out. Look to get out in the next 2-3 minutes. That was my feeling on it, and that's what I did, and I got a nice winner out of it. Okay, so let's continue. There'll be another example here for you. My next trade was AMC. This was an example where I bought the dip a little bit early. I had a trade on it here. This was break even. Nothing happened there. And then here, I bought this dip thinking it's going to make, and let me get my, I always forget to get this up. Let me read some of these. Yeah, I like to trade pullbacks too and breakouts specifically. Yeah, I do not consider myself a breakout trader. For lack of a better thing to say, I would say I'm too scared to do that. Bulls and bears make money in the market, pigs don't. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but okay. So anyway, here I was trying to get long. I missed this dip here, and then as it popped back up, and let me zoom in a little bit to make this a little bit clearer. As it was jumping here, I thought that the target would be VWAP here, and I bought this dip anticipating it to make a higher low. Here's a low being put in. Here's this low, and this would be a higher low, and then anticipating that next leg higher, and VWAP here was the target. On this candle, I was very confident here and here that we would get that move to VWAP, but ultimately that did not happen. I looked away. I started looking at other stocks or whatever. I was like, okay, I'm only in 100 shares. I'm happy to hold this. I would bargain at some point that AMC is kind of going to play back into this range, 58, 59, some point during the day. I kind of just liked it as a hold. But again, as I've said before, things can change very quickly. We got this big drop down to 53. And AMC, the way it's been trading is, even on the way down, it's very like it's a weird mover. This had this big pop back up to almost 56 and then dropping down to like 52.50 before kind of popping back up again. So anyway, on this one I was trying to be patient. Here I added to the position on this dip 53.86, and when you are buying dips, you can feel good about averaging down. The only thing is you have to get out at some point, because if you keep buying dips, the stock is telling you, hey, I am trending lower right now. Don't stick around in me. I am going down. So it's not really an environment that you want to kind of buy and hold. But again, it's all about your bias, right? Are you buying the dip to play for the 10-15 minute kind of pop back up? Or are you buying the dip for kind of that V-shaped move back to the upside where you're just going to be in 2-3 minutes, but you really think you can soak a lot out of it? When a stock is moving like this, here on a dip like this, you can play it for the 2-3 minute pop back up, and here that will work. But then when the stock kind of comes back down to meet this low again, and then you get a doji candle here, another candle of indecision here, pop back up, and then fading back down, it's now hanging out at this spot. If anything, your plan is look for the move higher, but set your stop below the low. That's all you can do. Okay, so that's kind of what my thinking was on it here. And then here, because I averaged down, I've got a new break even. So I got taking risk off at break even. My new break even was 55.16. And that's where I got 100 shares out. So this was a quick trade here that got me back to my break even right here. So at this point, I was break even on 200 shares. Again, I got 100 shares out. It continued higher. Now I'm green on the shares I have on and on the trade. And I thought, what the heck? I've got 100 shares on. Let me give this a chance to consolidate, and maybe we'll get a move to VWAP and higher, and maybe we see $60 again on the day. Who knows? Let's let it play out. And that didn't happen on it. And sometimes things work in your favor, sometimes they don't. But if you're okay with the risk, right? Only 100 shares, I say let it play out. And if you have second thoughts, you all of a sudden want to get out of the trade. Get out of the trade, whatever. That's what I decided to do here. 54.88. I said, this stock's not doing what I wanted it to do. Here was the spot. I drew this downtrend line. Here it broke out, and then it had this nice push up to above 56. It should have gotten to VWAP, but it didn't. It held under this 200 moving average and just struggled and struggled. And so that's why I thought, all right, I'm out. That's it. I'm done. So I took a $27 loss on it. Not a big deal. And that's how I traded AMC today. All right, let's talk about GameStop. This was another dip buy. So today was all just buying dips today, all day. And I was really surprised the move that GameStop had today. I did miss the long on it. In all honesty, the action we've seen on GameStop has not been very convincing. It's not demonstrated that it is a leader. I mean, if you look at all the meme stocks, right, and how they've behaved over the last few days, my eyes have really been on BlackBerry and AMC, because those are the ones that have shown clean technical patterns, strong momentum, long and short, and that's where all the eyes are. Of course, there are eyes on stocks like GameStop and Bed Bath & Beyond and MVIS and all these sorts of other stocks. But what we've seen in GameStop is it's not leading the meme stocks. It's not leading the, to the extent that the meme stocks are their own sector, it's not leading the sector. Here you can see the high in January, February was, $480. And even on a day like today where it showed initial strength, it's pulled way back. So even AMC was green on the day, but look at look at AMC. It right now it is dwarfing the high that it saw in January, February. Dwarfing it. It hit $70. It didn't get above 20 it may have touched above 20, but really it didn't get above 20 last January. So I want to be looking at the ones that are leading and convincing. So that's kind of why my eyes weren't on GameStop today. But let's talk about this trade. Oh man, I totally forgot that I had this little trade in here. I did have a very quick trade in here where I got in and I thought I was buying this dip, but what I realized was I didn't like it so much because it had this drop here, right? But then this candle and then this candle start to reverse, but then right back down. And now all of a sudden we're consolidating at the lows it got put in. So in other words, when you see a stock have a big drop, let's say a stock has a big drop, big red candle, if you don't see within the next couple minutes a somewhat convincing recovery back up, in other words, if you don't see any price action that confirms your suspicion that, hey, this drop was a big imbalance. If you see a big drop like that, hey, that's a big imbalance. Buy that dip. But if price action is hanging out down here, that shows you, that wasn't an imbalance. Price is finding value here. That's how bear flags get developed. That's how bear flags get developed, right? Like this, where you see kind of triangle patterns like this, and then you get a big drop lower. And that's exactly what we got here. Look at this, bear flag and huge drop. So you want to get out of the way when you see that. When you see consolidation at lows that are being put in, that's your sign that I wouldn't be a buyer. So that's why when I saw this consolidation start to begin, I was like, all right, I'm out. I don't want to be hanging around. And then here, but I thought, well, if it does break down, and of course I'm watching AMC. If you're watching GameStop, you're watching AMC, you're watching BlackBerry, you got to be watching the whole sector and watching what everything's doing. You want to see the laggers, the leaders. It's all important context. And then here, as this is breaking down, I will admit I bought this dip a little bit early. I did buy this dip a little early. Why did I buy the dip early? Well, this wick, where this wick was over half of the candle, and when I see that, I like to expect a reversal. But we didn't get that. We got a red doji and then one more red bar that brought us down even further. And what I was looking at as well was I thought, well, we have just retraced from the initial morning low. The initial morning low is right here. We're now coming into that spot again. I feel safe getting long there. I think buyers will start to find some value in here. Typically, you can make that assumption. Of course, anything can happen. But when you see a big retracement like that, these are typically areas of support. So those were a couple of things that gave me faith to buy, and of course watching AMC and trying to see if it's going to bounce as well. But just buying this dip, right? Because I want to be a buyer where the sellers are panicking and getting out. And I'm familiar with GameStop and AMC and all these stocks from back in February and January, where back then I was much more cautious buying these dips. I thought anytime this thing comes down or is showing weakness like this, what is stopping it from going back to $100? Now I feel a little bit more confident in answering that question, in that sellers have to cover, or shorts have to cover, and buyers will step in. Anyway, here it did come down to like, oh man, this is like 282 or something. You can see my buy here is like 293, almost 294. So that is a $10 drop on. Thank God I took 50 shares. Now, this was a profitable trade in the end, but thank God I took 50 shares, because here I took 100 shares, and once I did and I saw my P&L fluctuating and I noticed my stress levels were high, and I started to not like the trade, and I was just hoping it wasn't going to break down against me, and that's why I was like, okay, I got to get out. This is clearly a mistake. So next time I got in, I had the kind of the frame of mind to be able to say, okay, I need to take less shares. So I took half of my size from before, and that kind of saved me from the fact that I didn't get the perfect entry on it. Like I said, it dipped down to like 282 before popping. Here it does touch 295, above 295, and let me erase all this so we can see the exact level there. 296.33 it touches right here. Did I get out? No. I was in the money, like 150 bucks on it. I was looking for a little bit higher, and then it started to reverse back down. I was a little bit nervous at that point, but now we have a low that's been put in, and now we have some price action trading. It could roll over to a new low, but it's not like this thing is totally falling apart and heading to 100 bucks. So, when this is developing, and especially on a stock like GameStop, it can be hard. It can be hard to say, where the stock's heading. But once we see buyers step in, start to gain a little bit of confidence, and then it did end up double bottoming, and then moved back up, and I got out at 297.70. And yeah, that was that trade. Only 50 shares. It did, continue. It went to 306, but I would have had to wait quite a while to realize more from that trade. But this was a dip buy, and I made like 200 bucks on it. So as far as I'm concerned, that was a successful trade. All right, so the last trade I had today was toward the close. I kind of took a back seat for most of the rest of the day, and then but here toward the close, I took a very quick scalp dip, another dip, guys. Dips all day, every day. Dip on Wish. This was a stock that was extremely strong all day. I saw it rip to $9 earlier in the day and thought, who knows what this stock's going to do for the rest of the day. I'm not super interested in it. But at this point, now it's trading at almost $12. I thought, this is a very, very steady uptrend. Very steady uptrend. And, in that sense, it looks great. But when I see something like that in a stock, I mean, you look at the daily chart. At this point, I did start to look at it and go, it needs a pullback. It needs a big, more distinctive pullback. You know, there's these 2-minute pullbacks, right? But it needs a pullback. And this is something you get from experienced trading. I'm not trying to tout myself as like some crazy experienced trader, but at this point I have been day trading and waking up every single morning trading stocks for a year. So, you know, when it comes to watching stocks every day and understanding how stocks trade and price action, I feel like I actually do have quite a bit of experience. But what I'm saying is that it comes from experience, knowing that stocks, even this kind of uptrend where you do have some pullbacks, is not totally sustainable. You need some sort of more corrective pullback, and that's what we got right here. And of course, those pullbacks bring in buying opportunities. But in my point of view, the first pullback is also brings in the scenario of, oh, did the high just get put in? Was that the high right here? So there's kind of two ways to play it. So the safest bet for me feels like, okay, I'm going to buy the dip, but I'm going to look, this is one of those trades where I'm looking to be in for like 2-3 minutes and not really hang around, despite what happens next. Sometimes it'll do this. It'll continue to a new high, right? This was just a pullback and it continued higher. Great. Don't care. But other times, this is a bear flag and it breaks down to a new low. I really feel like this could have been either way. I don't feel confident, you know, I don't feel confident. This is kind of a long setup, but and that's what played out on it. This is obviously a stock that's really strong. But again, just it's, you know, if you're not positive, don't take the trade. This was more like, okay, I want to buy the dip, but I want to be very precise. So I want to try to, if I'm buying this dip, I want to really try to get the best entry possible. I want to get as low on this candle as possible. So I got 1102. You can see the low of this candle, it says, was 1095. So pretty good. 7 cents off the low of that candle. Not bad. And here on this trade, I did use the strategy of kind of counting to 3 in your head. Again, when you see a stock dropping down, so for instance, I saw this dropping right here on this candle. I saw this candle going down, and as much as my instinct said, oh, you know, buy the dip, buy the dip, I was patient on it, and I thought, not yet. It's going to move lower. I really think actually finally it's going to crack this 20 moving average. This is a 20 moving average right here. So you can see how it acts as support. Whoa, oops. You can see how it acts as support here, and then finally it cracks through here and breaks that support. So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for it to break the 20 and then kind of come back to meet it. And so here I was patient on it. I thought this candle was coming back down to the 20, but I want it to break. If it doesn't break right and it bounces right here, all right, I missed the trade, whatever. I'll wait for the next leg higher and then wait for the next pullback. It's not a big deal, all right? I've already made a good amount of money today. I don't, you don't need to be taking trades just for the sake of trading them. Wait for the setup you're looking for to come through. If it doesn't, you move on. If it does, you're going to see a beautiful trade take place. So here, 1102, I'm in, and then this candle was really great. You want to see that next candle engulf as much as that previous sell-off candle as possible. And here, this candle here did give me the kind of the confidence that we were going to get a candle that kind of went above this spot here. And this is such just technical. This is all just so technical. But when you do get a sell-off on this, usually this juncture, or whatever you call it, this break between the two candles where one candle went into the next, that's kind of a spot where I do look at, and I kind of look for the rip through that spot. And that's a spot where I do like to be collecting and taking profits on those kind of breaks. So again, this is kind of the break of that 20 moving average, break of this kind of juncture here, and so I'm taking profits into that. I actually had my order set at exactly 1136. The high of this candle is 1137. I guess I'm just that good, and that's where I took out the entire trade. So this one might have been one where I'm like, I shaved 100 off, 100 off, 100 off kind of during this candle. But because this candle popped back up with such strength, and the stock has the context of having a great move higher over the last 2 hours, I did have the confidence to kind of give it one more minute, and that's what I did. And I got out here before the next candle brings us all the way back down to 1112. Of course, this is all just consolidation here, but again, I don't like to stick around. So on a candle like this, I may have sold the position if I had held it a minute longer, because, who knows, the next candle can bring us down to a new low. it's you never know. So that's the thing with buying dips. You want to be very quick, but again, it is all about your bias on it. Maybe someone else's bias was to buy this dip and play it for more long term and expect it to make another concrete leg higher. And it did end up doing that, and that would have been an even bigger gainer. So good for people that did that, as it is now making a brand new high in after hours. I was watching this in after hours, I'll admit. I was watching it. I saw this dip come through here, and I actually thought about buying it right here. That's not a lie. I mean, but I would have sold it. I would not be holding on to it right now. So anyway, crazy move happening on Wish right now. And anyway, this is really this is encouraging to see this kind of stuff in the markets. We're definitely seeing more momentum. I just randomly clicked on AHT. I didn't know it was going up in after hours, but great. CLOV had a phenomenal move today. Anyway, so it's great. I love that we have meme stocks and small caps and all sorts of things going on. Even a stock like Wendy's, which has really seen no volume over the last, I don't know, forever, is now seeing volume because of Wall Street bets. So whatever you think about Wall Street bets, they're bringing momentum into the market in the memes and in small, and I don't know about small caps, but we're seeing small cap momentum. Small cap momentum is back, and I can say that confidently for the first time in honestly 6 weeks. It feels like pretty much 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks. We have not seen real small cap momentum in 5-6 weeks. This is momentum, guys. This is momentum when you see stocks do this throughout the day. This is not super typical, so take advantage of it, guys. All right, let me read some of these comments. Oh, guys, if this was helpful for you, if you're watching this right now, please hit the like button and subscribe. I do these recaps every single day. I go live, and I really hope that they're valuable to you guys, and hitting the like button lets me know that they are valuable. And if they are, yeah, I mean, that is kind of the goal for me. So my Discord server link is in the description, and you can go in there and chat. I'll be in there tomorrow morning trading. I don't do live call outs. I don't tell you what to buy or sell, but we do talk about what stocks we're looking at and what we're trading. So I would be excited to see you in there tomorrow morning, and we can chat about whatever. But just so you know, personally, I like to trade stocks that are moving, have volume, momentum, but I like to be safe and trade them. Try to be smart. That isn't to say I don't take big positions. You guys saw the position I had on Palantir today. That's 2,000 shares. I can tell you from my personal risk tolerance, that is a pretty big position size. So it's not like, I do take pretty big positions, but I like to trade setups that make sense, and I try to trade my best. So with that, subscribe. I don't know if I already said that, but please subscribe. Again, I do these recaps every day. And let me read some of these. Join Discord in the morning, peeps. Yes, let's go. We both couldn't be more opposite in our trading strategy lately. Me buying momentum trading, but your videos are really great for pullback trading. I need to do more of that. Yeah, I mean, the beauty with pullback trading with dip buying and pullback trading is, if it works in your favor, it's going to be great because you have a great entry. You get that great entry, you get that dip. But of course, the downside of it is the stock is moving down. You're buying a stock that is selling off. So there's pros and cons. Everything, there's pros and cons. I could talk about this all day. Breakout trading, there's pros and cons. Momentum trading, there's pros and cons. On both of those, you're buying stocks that are moving in your favor. You're buying stocks that have proven themselves. So you know what? That's great. That's a pro in that strategy. But you know what the con is? There's a cost for that. There's a cost, right? If you're buying a stock that's moving higher, you're buying a stock that's extended probably and moving up and needs a pullback and is, it's euphoria. That's not personally how I like to trade. I'd rather risk, the way I look at it is, I'd rather have my entry be in a place where it's maybe gonna be the best entry, or it's gonna be a somewhat bad entry. So for instance, say Wish continued to go down here. Okay, my entry is bad because now it's trading down here, but it's not the worst because I did buy kind of halfway on the way down. So in other words, if I bought this breakout here above 1160, right? You'd be in long at the high, now it's selling off, and now you're just screwed. So anyway, whatever. That's kind of an interesting way to look at it. But Mike up 1,200 today, most from CLOV. That's great, Mike. Good job. Yeah, CLOV was great. I'm glad that you did well on that. But man, these are risky, and you know, anyone who bought right here, great job. Another crazy day in the market. Nice trading, Austin. Some good opportunities on CLOV today. Yep. CLOV, great opportunities here. I personally did not trade it. Even here, as I was watching it in the morning, I thought it was extended. But I will admit that I missed it. I mean, this is sideways consolidation. And I did see this move higher, and I thought, wow, it's really pushing up. And then as it leveled off here, I actually wasn't really watching it. And I only came back later to see that it kind of made this move. So I'm not saying there, you know, in some world I may have taken a trade on this, but even up here I thought it was extended. I did not expect this. I mean, this is a sign of real momentum that's coming back into the market, and it's just something we haven't seen over the last several weeks. So, you know, it makes sense that I didn't really jump on it. Small cap, ANVS, shout out to the moon. ANVS to the moon! ANVS. Let me see. What did the ANVS do today? $73. All right. I mean, yeah, it's crazy that it's had this kind of secondary move. I have nothing else to say about ANVS. I have nothing else to say about it. Hit me up when ANVS has reached the moon. Lower risk thing by buying dips. I think so. You can. I mean, everything is risky. If you put your money in any stock, you have risk, right? Any strategy, there's always risk, and you guys all understand that. Everyone in here is smart. I don't. You know what I hate, man, is people that really pretend to be real know-it-alls in stocks, and like, it drives me crazy. So I don't want to come off like that. You guys are smart. You guys get it. And but yeah, I do try to teach in a very non-condescending way. I don't think of myself really. I've said this before. I often wonder, am I really a good trader? I don't know. I've had this conversation before. When can you say? When does it become appropriate to say that you're a consistently profitable trader? It's days like these where, like, well, I feel consistently profitable. I was green today. I was red a little bit yesterday, green the day before. I can look at my calendar and say, oh, I'm green on most days. But then I have a big loss day, or I'm in a trade and I have a big loss, and all of a sudden these questions start to pop back up. It's like, oh, man, am I really as good as I think I am? And you let those doubts creep in. And so anyway, the point is, I don't think of myself as like some brilliant. I certainly don't think of myself as a brilliant trader. I'm very young, and most of you guys are older than me just in terms of years, and probably have been watching stocks for more than I have. And I understand that, you know, subscribing and keeping tabs on a YouTube account where a 21-year-old is telling you how to trade, you know, I understand that there's something weird about that. And I am mature enough, I think, to recognize that. And so again, I don't think of myself as some brilliant trader. All I'm trying to do here is, you know, I feel like most days I have success, and I want, you know, to share that with you guys. And really, it's a lot of this is for me too. Doing these recaps, it helps me too. But again, I learn from you guys too. Gary has been in the Discord with me every morning for the past 2-3 weeks, and it's been great talking to him and you know, hearing from all of you guys. But yeah, the point of me saying that is that I learn from you guys just as much as probably you learn from me. And again, I don't want this to be like, if you join the Discord, you'll find that in there it's not centered around me. I am not a centerpiece for this. This is about all of us becoming better traders, and I'm a student. I'm just here, and I trade in the mornings, and I love to do it. I have a real passion for doing this. So all I'm trying to do is kind of foster a community where it's really organic, because what you find on YouTube is that it's mostly not organic. It's mostly shoving indicators down your throat, telling you this indicator is going to make you money every single day, and that's just not. Maybe some people like to trade like that, and maybe some people use crazy indicators out there. You see people with TOS open, and they've got all these indicators open, and it's like they're trying to teach you, and you see the YouTube chats are like, oh, what's that indicator you've got, and what are you doing there? But people don't realize, like, dude, that's all just crap, right? That is crap, in my opinion. You see me here, you watch my recaps every single day. Days like today, I'm up $800. I don't have crazy indicators on here. I'm not using TTM squeeze or any of these crazy things. I don't even have RSI and MACD on here. Because frankly, to me, they're useless. For me and my strategy, completely useless. So again, the point is, I'm not trying to be a sellout. I'm not trying to be, shove these indicators down your throat, sell you a script or anything. Right now, you can join my Discord for free, and you can talk to me for free as a resource. And so I hope that you guys would take advantage of that. And I'm not saying I'm some great resource. Again, it's not about that. I'm just saying this is a community that I think it'd be a shame for you not to take advantage of. And it's still a community that's growing. So be a part of it while you can. And because, again, this is a conversation I've had with people. This may not remain entirely free in the future. If we see real growth in the Discord and a huge demand for learning kind of this type of strategy, which is very simple, organic, you feel good trading this strategy because you don't have these crazy indicators. This is like, to me, this is like skin and bones, but it works. It's like price levels, trend lines. It's very simple. But anyway, I have had conversations with people about in the future, putting at least some sort of barrier. I've thought about live streaming on YouTube with me in the Discord open, and you guys would be on the YouTube stream talking. So if something like that were to take place, I would probably need to put some sort of barrier to entry in there, maybe cap the Discord or something, because I don't want trolls in there joining in and making a joke out of it. This is supposed to be a trading channel and talk about stocks and strategies and day trading and all that. So there are possibilities I want to explore and where to take this, but it really depends on the growth that comes in, and it really depends. And guys, as I am talking, I'm sweating my mind off. It is getting hot in here. I'm in Boston right now. It's like 95 degrees outside. So I'm going to let all you guys go, but I appreciate all of you guys for watching this recap. If this was helpful for you, please hit the like button and subscribe. I do these recaps every single day. I hope you find some value in this, and if you did, again, you might want to consider joining the Discord server. The link is in the description. That's it. That's all I have for you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sorry for the longer recap for those of you watching later. All right, bye-bye.